Hola amigos, this is Somvir and welcome to CodePipe. In this section, we will see how we will design UI UX, that is user interface and user experience for our e-commerce website. Let me tell you that this section is just a part of bigger course that will be available in some time. Let me give a small brief of what we are trying to do. We are trying to make an e-commerce website that we will make from scratch and we will try to host it online. So the first step in that is UI UX design, and we will see how to do that in this video. Let's see some steps that will be used in our UI design. First of all, we will meet with the client and get the requirements that will be very essential in our design process. Then we will prepare a brief using the requirements from the client, and this brief will contain all the deliveries that we will be giving to the client, including the project timeline. Next, we will prepare a persona. A persona is basically a fictional character that is an ideal user for the client's website. Next, we will prepare the low fidelity design, or we can call it wireframe of the website. Once the wireframe is complete, we will try to set our mood board, using which we will take inspiration for colors, text and font. A side note for this is sometimes there can be client guidelines of which text to use, which font to use, which color to use. So let's keep that in mind also. Next, we will prepare the high fidelity design that will consist all the colors and fonts that we have selected. After that, we will prototype it. Prototyping is nothing but user experience, or we can say if user is clicking on a button, on which page it should be redirected, what should be the animation from one page to another, etc. We will prepare a mobile design, how our website will look into a mobile, and at the end we will export the assets that we will be preparing throughout the UI design, and these assets will be used for development of the website or the backend development. Now let's quickly get into the first point, that is meeting with the client and getting the requirements. Let's say you are meeting with the client and you are doing it for the first time and you have no idea what to say and what to ask. So let me help you in defining some very basic questions that you can ask to a client. First one will be your budget. How I perceive this is, if your client does not have the certain budget that you will be using your resources to provide the project, then it will be no use to continue further. Let's say my hourly price is $400 and client is asking to complete a task in $10 per hour, which is not at all feasible for me. So I don't see a point of continuing the talk. But what I can do here is I can refer the client to a better prospect who can do the project in a lesser budget. Once the budget talk is done, we will get to know the target audience, whom they are targeting, school kids or professionals, whatever. After this, we will ask them what they want to achieve. Maybe the client wants to get more subscribers, more signups. Maybe the client wants to just present the information to a larger audience. So based on that, it will also affect our design process. So it's good to ask this question. Next, we will ask about the features that they want to have in the website. And obviously this will be used by the designers, also the developers, to develop the website. Then we will ask them what will be the navigation that will be done by the ideal user. So how they want a user to interact with their website, and accordingly we can set our website in such a way that it will be easy for the user to navigate the site. After this, we will ask them any domain related information that is highly important and we should know about it. In our case, we are designing e-commerce website, so we will ask them what is the product journey, or how the user will book a product, or anything that you think it will help you in the design process. After this, we will ask the client any limitations or specifications that they have. Like I told you, maybe fonts and colors, or they have some limitations like the size of web page, screen size, anything. Once we are done with this question, we will get a good idea about what the client wants. So we will write down all the requirements and then we will try to make a brief about the project. So let's quickly see the brief. Here are the requirements that we collected from the client. In our case, we did not have any client, so I asked a friend of mine to behave as an imaginary client and we discussed this. So these are just rough requirements which will be used to make the brief. Some of these requirements are very common for e-commerce site, and some of them are very specific, like don't make the user sign up until he checks out, or personalized homepage for users. So based on the client and the interaction you have with the client, we will have our requirements ready. Once we have the requirements, we will make the brief. Let me quickly show you how the brief will look like. First of all, there will be a title or the project name. So we are calling it Area 51. Our site will be called Area 51, hence giving it the name Area 51 e-commerce project. First of all, we will include the project name or the website that we will be making. So here we are making area51.com. Then we will have the project description, a small brief about the project or what we are going to do. As I have already told you, we did not have any client, so we are making as a part of our own website. So the description will say something like it is a subdomain of CodePipe and we are trying to make a online store to sell our fashion products. We can add some specific things like the website will be used to sell men's and women's fashion items to a single state, or whatever the client says or wants us to do. And based on the question about the target audience from the client, we will work out who is the ideal user for the website. We decided that we want a very simple site where user will come and he will have minimal efforts to check out a product, and we don't want all the extra information that we have on the normal e-commerce site, so we are trying to do that. Then we have feature list. Feature list will consider what specifications or what specific things we are going to deliver in the project. Some are very basic things like adding the product to cart, checking out, so we have excluded them as they are very basic, and we try to include some very specific things here. So offers and deals sorting, blogs and news, the products should be sorted and filtered, share the products on social sites, we should be able to review the product, user should have a accounts page with order details, the site should have store locator, the site should also has a seller dashboard to see all the revenue, the seller should be able to add products and offers, and the seller should be able to manage the orders and inventory using this dashboard. So these are all the features that will be included in the website apart from some common features. Next up, we have competitors and inspirations. In this section, we will include from where we have taken the inspiration for the website design and who the competitors are. So we are making it in-house, so we are taking inspiration from all that we have done. We have taken some inspiration from Amazon, and Myntra is kind of inspiration and also a competitor. After this comes the very important part of our brief, the deliverables. This is very important. Why? Because this part will tell the client what we will deliver to you and what we will not deliver to you, so that the expectations from the client and from our side are set. First of all, we will deliver the wireframe for approval. Once it is approved for the client, we will go for the high fidelity design. Once this is done, we will go for user testing. Under user testing, we can include what type of testing we will be doing. So we will be doing both moderated and unmoderated testing, meaning we will be there with the user to test the design. Some testing will be done without the presence of our team. After this, we will provide the report of the user testing. Then we will provide the assets from the design that will be used by the developers. Last point will say we are not including. So we are not including the animations and other advanced CSS for the website as per the requirements and the talk we had with the client. Let me take out a second to inform you that this brief is very specific to UI design. So whenever we are doing just the UI design part, this type of brief will be very beneficial, where we are not including the animations and advanced CSS. But in our case, we are doing the UI project, and after that we will be the developer for the project, so things can be here and there. Okay, moving on. As per the budget discussion with the client, we will include what is the budget decided, and if client is trying to add something else that is not a part of deliverable, we will let them know, okay, we will do the work for you, but it will cost so and so for any extra work. That's why the deliverables are very important, and you should always include this in your brief, and also the cost. Then we will let the clients know that we will need so and so percentage of the payment in advance to start the project. At the last, we will provide the timeline to the client. Let's say on 1st Feb 2021 we will start the research, and by 7th Feb we will be able to complete the wireframe and submit it for review, as client can be busy and he will take a day or two to approve the wireframe. So we will take the feedback for the wireframe by 10th of Feb. Then we will start working on the high fidelity and we can complete it by 20th of Feb. Then we can take the high fidelity feedback from clients by 24th of Feb. Then we can start the user testing by 27th of Feb. And finally by 5th of March we will be able to provide the user testing report and the components that are exported to the client. And by this the project timeline is completed and the brief is completed. Now we have met with the client to talk about the budget. We got the requirements. Using the requirements and the target audience, we have made the brief. Now next thing is we have to create a persona. Our persona will look something like this. But before discussing the persona, let me tell you some important points to keep in mind while framing the persona. First point we have to keep in mind is persona is a fictional character that describes the ideal target audience. According to the client and your research, a persona will be framed which will describe a person that will be using the website on a regular basis. A persona should include name, gender, location, marital status, and profession of the character or the audience, because I think each of these variable can be a huge factor while we are designing the UI. A single person will behave differently than a married person, and of course profession is very important. If a person is very free, then he will have more time to interact with the things, and if he is a professional, he may have less time or he will not see some of the things. So these things can affect our design. But if you think you should not include any of this, please feel free to not include, and if you think you should include some more things, you can include. After this we can also include how a person's usual day looks like, and sometimes the hobbies of a person can also affect the design of UI. Let's say a person likes to shop, their main hobby is shopping, so a fashion e-com website will be great for them, and while a sports website will be very less interesting for them. So these things also matter. After this, we must always try to explain what are the experiences of the user with the previous websites or previous experiences that are bad. What does the customer needs? What is the behavior of the customer? And what does he want to achieve? After this, we can also include a point how a person or the persona will describe themselves. A persona can say, I am a mother of two and I don't have much time from kids. Or a persona can say, I'm a footballer and I love to play sports, I love to stay outside. So these things may or may not involve in the design. The client should approve that this persona is the perfect target audience for their website. Let me take a second to tell you how to research for the persona. First can be, you can ask directly to the client what is their target audience if they are not sure. Second can be, look at the similar websites and see what type of people are on the website. Third can be using the Google Analytics of their websites, of the client's websites, that will give us the gender and demographics of the people. Now, moving forward, let's see the persona we framed for our e-commerce website. This is our persona. We are calling her Amy. She is an IT professional and the age is 24. According to the brief, we got to know that we are making the website for professional workers. Using some internet research, we found that most of the people in my location are IT professionals and the average age is somewhere about 24-25. So we have taken the age of 24. So our persona Amy is a single working woman who lives in Bangalore, India. Amy is kind of busy with the job and she hardly gets time for shopping. But she likes shopping and she likes to try different kinds of styles. Let's see Amy's goals. So Amy just wants to purchase some clothes that are of good quality and she can purchase it without losing a lot of time. Let's see what are some of the frustrations or bad experiences of Amy. Amy thinks she does not have any time to go out and shop. She is not finding out any time in her busy schedule, and it is very hard to navigate through e-commerce websites that are available. Now let's see how Amy will describe herself. She says that I'm always busy with my office work and I barely have time to get out of the house for shopping as it wastes a lot of time. So she has tried online shopping also, and that are very complex. It is very challenging to understand how to proceed with things, and she just wants a place where she can go find good quality clothes and purchase easily. So this is about our persona. How we frame this persona is we ourselves are into the IT field, so it was easy for us to interview some of our friends to get good understanding of the shopping process. But if you are doing it for the client, I would recommend you to go out, or if you have friends in that sector, you can interview them, you can do some internet research, etc. Now, after reading the persona or framing the persona, what are the takeaways from it? I got to understand that the ideal user of the website will be a very busy person, or he and she would like to make it a fast process for checkout. So this is how we can meet with the clients, get the requirements, make a brief that will explain the deliverables that we will deliver once the project is completed, and what we will not deliver. It is very important to keep both the points, also the cost of the project and the extra price that will be used if any extra additional work is done. Lastly, we use the target audience and some research to frame our persona, used on which we will be able to design our UI. For making a wireframe, there are some points we can keep in mind or how we can proceed. First of all, we can put our imagination, what we are thinking about the website, on a paper, so that if it is not looking good, we can change it, we can modify it easily. After that, we can get some design software. Basically, I will be using Adobe XD, but there are other free or subscription based software available like Figma, which can be used for the UI design. For wireframe, we will get the material icons or material toolkit from the internet, and basically Adobe XD also provides some free kit for the UI design. First thing what I do when I'm trying to design a UI is I will go to some websites. I will try to look for inspiration how I want to design the website. Here, let me tell you some of the websites you can refer from where you can take the inspiration, or you can see how others are designing so that you can have a view of your own. The first website I'm going to discuss is Pinterest.com. I believe this is very common and everyone is aware of it. We can create new boards where we can save our ideas that others have put on the internet, and using this we can see how we want to proceed with the design. As you can see, I have collected quite a few samples. Next website that I would like to discuss is Behance. This is also a platform where a lot of freelancers and professionals put their design, so we can also take inspiration from here. This behaves mostly like Pinterest, where we can save what we like and we can see there are different of designs. Next website is dribble.com with triple B. Here also we can find inspiration for not only e-commerce but a lot of other categories also, and we can see we have some very good designs available here. And the next website is nice.co, nice with double I. This website provides advanced tool like creating our own mood boards, our own collection of different styles, which is usually used by professionals. This website can behave as a one-stop for professional designers and freelancers. And if we notice, other sites which are Dribble and Behance also provides us the option to look for jobs, or if we are looking for designers and if we want to work for someone, we can also do that on these sites. So if you are new in UI design, so you can find work here, you can put your work, and you can also hire designers if you are an agency. So now we have gone through some designs, we have gone through some websites. Now let me show you what I have designed on paper. So this is the homepage of my website which I have tried to design. As you can see, I have used freehand drawing to make a mock UI design or wireframe of the website. In the next videos, we will not be creating all the pages of the website because of the time constraint. So let me show you all the pages that I have designed so that it will be easy for you to understand. Or if you want to design it on your own, you can have a look at my design. So on the homepage, I have provided support, email, contact, social share networks, and the account on top. Then I have given logo, search option, wish list, cart, and the total amount of the products that are available in cart. Then I have a small navigation menu which will take us to home, wishlist, cart, blog, contact, accounts. Let me make a note here that this is a rough design, and anytime in the process if we feel that wishlist and cart should not be here or blog should be first, we can make any changes while designing on the software. What I mean to say is we can make changes as we go along. Then I will make a deal of the day or offer of the day banner. I am giving this recommended for you and items from your wish list because in the brief we have mentioned, or in the requirement we have got, that the homepage should be customized according to the user. So user will feel that he is getting items that he wants. Then we will have a for him section, as we are only making the site for men and women's fashion. Then again we will have a offer of the day or discount price. Then we will have a for her section, and at the last we will have from the blog, where we can put any blogs or news that the seller wants to share. And below that we will have the footer. I didn't have the space here, so I am putting it on the next page or the next web page. This is my category page. I have the navigation, it is same as this one. It will have all the support, contact, account, this search option, this navigation. So instead of writing this again and again, I am just writing NAV. Below this we will have the small breadcrumbs, the title of the page. On the left side we will have filters. On the right side we will have sort by search options, which are clearly provided in the requirements. Then we have all the item cards. We will have pagination at the down, and below that we will have the footer, where we will provide the logo of the company, the contact details. In next column we will have some common information like about us, store locator, refund policies and return policies, etc. Then we will have account information, profile, wishlist, cart, etc. Then we will have a newsletter section where user can put their email and they can subscribe to the newsletter or the blogs that we put. Next page we have product page. The product detail page will have a main image on the left and some smaller images which are other images on the right or the bottom, which I have not yet decided, so I am keeping it as optional. Then we will have product name, small description. Then we will have the rating from users, which will be an average rating. Then we will have features of the product. We will have the option to select colors and sizes. Then we will provide the price of the product, discount info if there is any discount info. Then we will have buttons to add to cart and add to wish list, and under that we can have social share, or we can have social share here. We can provide any extra icons or information like free shipping, refund policies, customer support, etc. if we want at this section. And after this we will have a review, where the current user can provide review of this product. After this section we will have a small customer review section, where we will provide previous reviews of the product by other customers. Then we will have recommended items, top selling items and recently viewed items. To save some space, I have provided both the list page and detail page at one section. When we are the list page, we can see we have latest news or blogs, and on top we have navigation. On the card we will show the image, topic, author and date to be minimalistic, and below this footer we can see the detailed page of the blog. On the topic we will have the topic title, author, date. We can have social media share options, then the information, and at the last we will have the footer. On this page we have wishlist and cart. Again, to save some time, I have added both in one page. For the wishlist we will have an image, name of the product, detail. We can have size of the product, we can have quantity of the product, we can have the price. Size and quantity I am keeping, and I will try to change it dynamically using Django. Then we will have two buttons for each item, which will be add to cart or delete, which makes sense. Then we will have the option of continue shopping, which will redirect to the category page, or we can go to cart so that we can proceed for checkout. Or if we are sure that we want to purchase all the items in the wish list, we can directly proceed to checkout so that we can skip the part where we have to go to cart to go to checkout. And this is the option we are including, where we are trying to make user checkout faster. Now In the cart page, we will have the same navigation, title, breadcrumbs. We will let the user know what is the progress of their checkout, which means the user is currently on the cart page. We will again provide the image, detail, size, quantity, price, and action. Action will be delete the item. At the last, we will provide the subtotal amount. We will ask the user to put their name, phone, email, and address on the right side. We will have the payment info on the same page if they want to pay using PayPal, Stripe, or any other option that we want to include. And if we hit on checkout, it will directly go to the payment page. So this is again a try to make user checkout faster. On this page we have our sign in and sign up page. On the sign up we will ask for name, email, password, password confirmation, and gender. Of course we will need the gender of user to recommend items to him or her. Again, to make things less complicated, we will not ask for other details, but yes, we can add an option here to get the address, or we can let the user put it through the account. Anyways, we like it. On the sign in page, it will be very simple. We will have the email and password and we can log in. The account page will look something like this, where we will have the navigation, breadcrumbs, and the title. Then we will acknowledge the user or welcome the user. We will have the small account summary, name, email, phone, and address of the user, where we will have the edit option also. In the next section, we will provide the last 5 order summary, where user will directly provide the option to return or refund or ask for any complaint in this section directly. Or if he wants to go to any older orders, we can have a see all button here that will provide an option to go to all the orders that are available in the account. This is again a try so that user don't have to do a lot of things to raise a complaint for the product. Before footer, we will also provide a bar which will provide the email address or the phone number using which they can connect to the customer support or the website support easily. This page will have about us section, our mission, or anything else what the client wants to add. Then we will have contact info of the client or the seller. Then we will have email form where they can provide their details and they can send email to the team so that they can get a reply back. In the next section, we will have a store locator where we will be providing all the store details which are static, meaning we have to provide all the details available for a store in advance. After this section, we will have a bar which will hold all the hyperlinks to refund policy, terms and conditions, and privacy policies. One thing to note here is we are trying to do all things as per the requirements from the client, keeping in mind our persona. So these two things you have to always keep in mind, that what the customer requires and what is our ideal user. On the next page, we will have refund, return policies, terms of use, and privacy policies. This is a very simple page where we will have all the policies listed here as per the client. Then again, we will provide a bar that will provide the option to contact customer support or the support email of the client. Until here, we were seeing the website through user's eye. Now let's see how the seller will see his dashboard. So this is how the dashboard will look like. On the left side, we will have all the things that user can do or the menu. On the top, we will have a logo, title of the page. On the right side top, we will have an option to log out or view the website. On the dashboard, we will provide the overall performance first, which will contain total sale, how many returns are there, and what is the net sale. So these three things will provide us the revenue. This return means how much money is returned, and sale will be how much money is earned, and the difference between them will be the net sale. After this, we will have all the categories, how many categories we have and how many products we have. Then we will have a weekly chart where we will see how much revenue is earned per day for a week. After this, we will have how many orders we will have. This can be daily, or this can be weekly, or this can be monthly, based on you and the client. So out of total orders, these many orders are returned. And then we will have a very important part of the dashboard which will identify or which will notify the seller about the inventory. Let's suppose if the stock of a product is less than 10, so these products will be listed here, and we will have a see all button so that we can see all the products that have low stock or low inventory, so that we can either delete it or we can update it. This is about how the dashboard will look. And in the next page we will have the inventory. So we will have all the options here. Just for identifying this, I am writing just inventory. Title, we can search for any product in the inventory. First of all, we will have minimum inventory. This section is just like the dashboard where minimum inventory was notified to the seller. This will behave same. We will provide 4 or 5 very low stock inventory to the seller, and we will have the option to see all. Then we will have all inventory, which will consist all categories and all products inside them. And now looking at this page, we can also include a section where we are using category also, like men's category, women's category, so that it is easy for us to go through the products. But anyways, we can have a search option to search for any particular product. Next page is about order management. So a seller will have two type of orders. One will be orders that are in shipping and one will be in delivered condition. Here we will have all the information about the order, and to make this website easy to use for the seller also, we are providing direct action button here, which will be marked as deliver or not delivered, something like that. As of this time, we don't have any information about how the seller will be connected to the transport or the delivery team, so we are just providing an action here. But if user wants that option also, that page also, we can always get the requirements updated and design. We will have 5 to 6 orders on top, and we will have a see all button to see all the recent orders that are not delivered yet. And same goes with the returns or refunds or complaints for the product. We will have the product details or order details here, and we will have a small action button like accept, deny, or whatever the client wants us to do. And again we will have the see all button. One thing to note here is, if we see at the dashboard, there is some update button or add option button, add category, add product, add deal offer. We can design pages for this also, but I am ignoring this. Why? Because when I will be doing the backend, I know they will just look like a form, so I don't want to waste my time on this. But you can always add pages for this in your UI. So these are all the pages that we will roughly require for our website, but again we can change things as we go along. Now we will download the Adobe XD from adobe.com. If we go to adobe.com, this will be the home page. If we go to creativity and design, we will have all the features and the products from Adobe. We want XD. As I've already mentioned you, there are other platforms also like Figma, where we can design the UI. So it is totally based upon you and your interest which software you want to use, but I will be using Adobe XD. Here we will have two options. If we are going for individual, we can go for starter plan if we are just trying out the UI design, or we can buy or subscribe to the Adobe XD, which will be 797 Indian rupees. My suggestion here is, if you are just trying out for practice, we should always go for starter, because in starter and single app there will be no difference. If we go down and if we look for the similarities or features, we can see the only difference will be the sharing of the documents, and I believe if you are a beginner you will not require these options. But if you want to make a profession out of it, you can always go for the subscription of 797 Indian rupees. So according to our requirements, we can either go with the free plan or the subscription plan. So until now we have prepared the brief of the project, we have prepared wireframe on the page, we have our app downloaded, and in the next video we will see how we can set up this app, and we will start using the app to make a wireframe. With this I conclude this part. Wireframe of the design is required. Why? Because whenever we are planning to make anything for the client, we will just make an outline of the website, we will show it to the client. If the client needs some changes, we will make the changes in the wireframe, so that we don't have to deal with all the colors, fonts and everything. and we can have a simple design which client can approve, and we can also modify if required. Once this wireframe is approved and it is finalized, then we can start putting colors and illustrations, etc. Now let's open Adobe XD and see how we can proceed. This is the homepage of Adobe XD, where we can see the recent files we have created, and we can make new artboards or web pages from here. We can either make it for mobile, we can take the default web page, we can use it for Instagram story. Also we can use any custom size. Now let's see what size do we consider. For the size, we will need the help of client. Either they will tell us the size, what size they want their web page in, or we can ask them for their Google Analytics statistics. Let me show you analytics of my website so that it will be easy for you to understand how to look for things. So if we go to analytics.google.com for any website, this will be the page. We are specially looking for tech. This will be the technology overview. It will tell us about the statistics of users who are using which platform to surf our website. On this page, we are looking for something screen resolution. As we can see here, there are different screen resolutions on which our website has been shown. As we can see here, a large number of people see our website on 1366 into 768 screen resolution. So this can be our web page size, or if there is any other specification, you can take that also. Coming back to our Adobe XD, although we saw that maximum of people are using 1366 into 768 screen resolution, but we will be going through 1920 into 180, and there is no special cause or specifics like why we should use this. You can use any size. So if we click on it, get these options. So we'll go with 1920. It will create a new artboard for us. So here we can see we have the name, and this white space we are calling it artboard. Now let me make a point here. Exploring Adobe XD is not in the scope of this project or this video section, so I will be giving you all the specific needs that we will require in the project, but I will not be able to dive deeper into the specifics of Adobe XD especially. But let me give you a walkthrough of the interface. On the top bar we have home button, from where we have selected this size. Then we will have design, where we will design all our artboards. Then we have prototype. Prototype is basically connection between two web pages. If we have more than two pages, we can connect using these things. Then at the end we will have share. Share is nothing but we can share our project with the clients, or if we want to take user testing, we can use links created from here. So this is just for sharing purpose. If we go back to design, on the left bar we will have select button, rectangle button, ellipse or circle. Then we have triangle or polygon. Then we have line, then we have pen tool, text tool, and we have artboard tool. So artboard is nothing but if we want to make a custom artboard, we can use this, and we can make artboard of any size. And at the end we will have the zoom tool. So if we want to zoom, we can use the zoom. At the bottom of the left bar we will have three buttons. First will be about the document assets. Of all the assets that we are going to use in the artboard can be categorized here, like colors, character styles and components. Then we will have layers. Layers will be something like what all layers we have used on the specific artboard selected. If we have text, it will show text. Then we used rectangle, it will show rectangle on top of that, and so on. And at the end we will have plugins bar, where we will have different plugins that we can use to get different type of content or different type of usage on our Adobe. On the right side we have some buttons on the top. First one is invite to document. If we are inviting someone for collaboration on the same project, we can use this button, and we can provide their email address on the top so that they can also collaborate into this. Next one we have mobile preview. So if we are using iOS, we can directly put in a USB and it will be shown how it will be shown in a mobile. Then we have normal desktop preview, how this artboard will be looking on the desktop. It will show us, it will pop up a new window, and since there is nothing on our artboard, it is blank. At the last we have the zoom. So now it is at 33% zoom. We can change it using the drop down, and this right side bar will contain all the magic that we can do on the artboard. If we want to change the height and width of the artboard, if we want to align them, and we can check the appearance from here. We can use grid layout or square layout that we will discuss in a moment. So this is where we can control everything that we do on the artboard. Let me rename the artboard to home page. Now we have created the artboard of size 1920, but we will not be using the complete width of the artboard. We will be giving some spaces in the side. As we can see in most of the website, the content is in the middle only. But again, if you want to be creative and use the complete width, up to you. You are the designer. Now what I am going to do is I will use this grid or layout option. Now there are two types of layouts, layout and square. To give the space on the sides, we will use the layout option. Now why we are using this layout? So those of you who are familiar with the Bootstrap, there is a thing called container, and we want all our content as a, so let me show you what a container size will look like. If we do a normal Google search about Bootstrap containers, w3schools.com is a very good site that will inform us about various technical aspects of the web design and different topics. So on this page, let's see what will be the width of the container. So if we see for fixed containers, here we can see if we are using a screen size of more than 1200 pixels, the container will have the width of 1140 pixels. So we will use this number for our layout. Let me show you how we can do that. On our Adobe XD, let me make it one column and give it the column width of 1140. Now this is the container inside which we want to keep all our content, but we will divide this into 12 columns. Again, we are using the concepts of Bootstrap here. Bootstrap uses 12 columns to align the content inside the container. So let me make it columns of 12. So what is gutter width? Gutter width is the distance between two consecutive columns. Let us try to give gutter width of 0. Okay, that is good, and we can identify the column, so it will be okay for us. Now we are all set to start our wireframe. Here we can do two things. Either we can import the image that we have created on the paper, or we can do it on our own. So let me show you how to import images. If we go on the menu, if we see here, we have import, or the shortcut also Ctrl+Shift+I. If we go here, then in the file explorer we can use any image. We can select any image, we can use import. It will import the image. Now we can keep it here and we can start designing here. If we look at the image, we have some icons like search icon, heart icon, bag icon, etc. So we don't want to waste our time in designing those also, as there are plenty of resources available on the internet, and Adobe provides some useful UI kits along with the software. So if we go on the menu, if we see get UI kits, we can see there are 2-3 default UI kits, or we can get wireframes or UI kits from the internet using those. It will open material.io, which is a great resource for downloading different type of UI kits for our project. We can look for different UI kits on the website, we can download it and we can use it for our project. Let us see how we can download it. So after clicking on the UI kit, it will give us a zip file of all the material design UI kits. We can download it and we can use them. Since I have all the required wireframe UI kits with me, so I will not download it, but you can always download and research different UI kits that you want to use. So let's get back to our Adobe XD. Another way that will help in your design process is getting the SVG icons from some free resource websites, or if you can spend, you can also purchase some icons from the internet. But a very good resource for free SVG icons can be flaticon.com. And if we see the flat icon website, the website will look something like this. There are some free icons here, there are some subscription based or payment based icons here, so accordingly we can use. So if we use for heart icon, we can see we have 69,936 heart icons, and whatever we want to use we can use. Let's say we want to use this, so I can directly download it as SVG and I can import it in my Adobe XD. Now finally we are ready to start designing our web page. So let us take a rectangle. We will make a rectangle that will snap to the width. Once rectangle is done, we will use the select tool. Now we can change the height and width of the rectangle from this side. So let's say I want the height to be 40. So here it is. Now it is very hard to see how it will look like in the main page or how it will look like live. So we can use Ctrl+1, which will show it at 100% zoom. It will show how it will look on the 100% view page. Or we can use this button, play button, which will show us the desktop preview. So if we look here, it will give us this height of the rectangle. So I think we are okay with it. Now we can add support email, contact, social and account. I will use the text tool. I will try to put it in center. I will provide any email of our team. We will select the selection tool. Now if we select the text, hold the shift and select rectangle, we can use this alignment tools. So if we use this, it will say align middle. I will align it to the middle. Now I can use this to take it here. I want it to be on the edge of my layout. Now the text looks dull, so I will select it, go to this fill. Now I will make it black, so I will drag it to the bottom. This will give us the black or the hex code. Now one cool feature is I will click add here and it will add black color to my color palette. So if I want to use this color anytime else, I will just click here and it will give me the black color. After this I will use the line tool to make a separator here. As we can see, line can be in any direction. So if we hold shift, it will give us the straight line. And you see that once it is inside the rectangle or it is touching the edge of rectangle, it is becoming bluish. So we know that it is touching the rectangle. We can also use V for getting the selection tool. Now if we compare, we have the first part ready. Then we want to add contact. So let us come here. So if we press Ctrl and we rotate the middle of the mouse, it will give us the zoom out or zoom in option. Or if we press the middle of the mouse, it will give us the pan option where we can drag it according to our wish. So let me again take a text tool, or let me take this opportunity to show you one other cool thing. So if we press and hold Alt tab on our keyboard and if we drag it to the side, it will make a copy of it. Now I will change this to our contact number, which can be anything. Let's keep it 1 2 3 4 5 6 for now. And we can do one thing, we can select this and select this, and we can use this align vertically, so they will be both in the same line. We can make this a group. Now this is a group. If we select one, both of them will be selected. If we select this, hold shift and select this, now if we align vertically, this both will be in the center of rectangle. Now on the other end, we will need social icons and the account. So we will do the same thing with them. We will take this line, we will hold the shift, we will select this. Now we will hold Alt so that we can copy all the three things. We can put it on the last. If you observe, if I go to the end of the layout, it will snap itself. So we can do that. Or if we want some distance between this and this, we can use our left and right keys also, which will decrease or increase the length, but I want to keep it last, so here it is. Now there are groups, so I will use Ctrl Shift G, or I will ungroup them so that they are different. Now I will shift them to the side. I will make it ACCOUNT account. With account, I want a down arrow here so that we can identify that this is a drop down. For that I have already opened one UI kit that I have downloaded from the net using the same process I showed you a while ago. So this is how the UI kit will look like. Mine is called Wires Web. If we hold Ctrl and scroll up, we can zoom in and we can see for UI elements we might have a down arrow here. So if we see here, so this down arrow we can directly Ctrl C copy. We will go to our file and paste it here. It is very small, so let's drag it to where we need it. As you can see here, there is a link icon here or a chain icon here. So if we go to our assets, document assets, we can check into our components that this is a component. And if we check for the right click, we can see we have option of make local. We are getting this option because this component is still linked to the main file from where I have taken it. So I will make it local and then I will double click on it so that I can get into the arrow. I will change the fill of it. I have already used the black color, so I will use it. I will increase the height and length of this. It will resize both the height and width at the same time. If we don't use shift, we can see it is going here and there. And if we use shift, we can see it is proportional. So we will use this to align them to the center. Now we will make this and this as a group, Ctrl G. As you can see here, there is a small line between the columns, which can give us an idea about how the columns will be present in our bootstrap. So we can use one thing, we can put it to the end. We can use this line on this column. so it will be easy for developers to understand where everything is placed. Now I will delete this email and I will use some icons from the Wireframe UI kit that I downloaded. So from here I will take Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Control C on this, Control V. We have our components here. We can see they are linked, so we will make them local. They are all selected, so we can change the fill to black, or better, let's reprocess them here and we can then directly place them. Align them center, 15, 15, make them a group, put them here, make them aligned center. Okay, we can get the distance from this line, so let's make it 15. Now our top bar is ready. Now we have to provide a logo, the search bar, icon for wishlist. For that again I will use a rectangle tool. I will try to put it on the corner, make a rectangle, going to the selection tool with V, selecting it, giving it a height of, let's make it 150. Here, before moving forward, let me tell you a very important thing, or you can say it is a good practice. First of all, we should always use one or maximum two colors for our wireframe, because we are trying to make it as minimal as possible. And second thing is, always use only one font for the complete wireframe. The size may vary like 8, 16, 24, etc. But try to always use one font for the complete wireframe. Also, while talking about the font, if we see here, we are using 20. So 20 is not conventional, although we can use it, but I would always recommend using the multiples of 8, like 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 54, etc. And why I recommend using the multiples of 8 is, if we change the layout of this page, making it square and giving a square size of 4, it will be very easy for us to give paragraph spacing or distance between first line and second line. If we see here, this is 20 and we are not able to provide a very good location for it. And if we make it 24, we are able to utilize all the boxes with proper sizes. So I always recommend using the sizes of 8 multiple, like 8, 16, 24, 32. But again, it is up to the designer what they want to use. So making it 24, making it 24. Now one other cool thing is, if we try to drag the text using the mouse, it will show us the distance if it is similar to some other distance. I will use this and this. I will align it to the center again, make it a group, align it to the rectangle in the middle, and we are good. Same with the account. I will make it 24, take it 5 steps away from the bar, taking the line and the social icons a little bit far, let's say 15. For the logo, for our case, we are just using the text and we are trying to make it super big and bold. But if we have a logo with us, client gave us a logo, we can always use that. So let's make it area 51. I will use a bigger font here with bold, so it is bold. I will use, let's say 48. Okay, this will work. Now I will align this to the center of rectangle. Now we need to make a category search with the search icon. So let's see. Here I will again use a rectangle, align it to the center, and I will lock it here for now, because when I'm moving some things I don't want this to move. So I will use Ctrl L to lock it on this place. If I try to remove this, it is not moving, so that's what I want. Now I will use a text here that will show us all. The size will be 24, align it to the center. Now I will need the down arrow, so I can take it from here, or I can directly use this one. So we can see here these all are blue and we are going for the all black theme. So I will edit the main component, it is here. I will make the fill as black and we can see the main component is also changed to black. I will do same with all the components, and now we can delete it from here as we don't require it anymore. Once this is done, I will use this component and drag it here. I will drag it to the main place, double click, and I will increase the height and width, try to make it align with the all. Okay, now we can take a line tool and draw a separator here, again using shift to make it straight. We are getting the small blue highlight here, so it is touching the bottom. Here we can see layout is somewhat interacting with us or it is disturbing us. So we can do two things. One is we can double click on the artboard. For the columns, we can click here and we can change the transparency, or we can use Control Shift and double inverted commas, which will directly remove the layout. If we press it again, Control Shift double inverted commas, it will bring back the layout. So we have decreased the transparency. Now we want a placeholder kind of thing in here. Again, I will use text, try to take it in the center, search all, escape, then using V. Here if we try to drag this, it will give us many alignment options. So I will use this which says this is in align with the all, and we are having 14, so I will use my arrow keys to make it 15 or let's say 20. And then I will again use this separator. I will use Alt to copy this, put it on the column, and here I will use a search icon. For the search icon, I will again go to the wireframe that I downloaded. So here let me search if I can get a search icon, and here it is. I will copy this, paste it here, make it local, edit main component and fill it with black. And you can see when I edited the main component here, this component already became black. So if we are using any instances of component anywhere on the page, and if we edit the main, it will change all the instances. So I will drag this here and I will double click, change the height and width. Now we can't make it align with this because it is locked. So I will unlock the rectangle. I will select this rectangle, put it in center. Since this is a complete rectangle and these are lines, we cannot use this for alignment. So I will have to do this manually. So we have our logo, our search field. Now we need to provide two icons for wishlist, cart and the amount. For the wishlist and cart items, I have downloaded another XT file with all the icons in it. The file is from Material Google Designs and this is created by xtguru.com. So from here we can get different type of icons or material icons that are used normally. So from here I will take the heart icon, copy, I will paste it on my page. This is already in black, so I don't have to do anything. Let's make it a component. We can make any component using Ctrl+K so that we can use it anywhere on our page, and if we change the main component, it will change all the other components. So let's drag it required position. I will double click and I will change the height and width. As we can see, since this is attached to the bottom, we can align it using our arrows. So let's make it 40 distance. Now we want a cart icon here. Although if you are wondering from where you can get these files, I will let you know at the end of the video from where you can get all the files that I have used. So please watch until the end. So let me go back to my Google Material Icon library, and from this file under maps, I found a good icon that I can use. So I will copy this, paste it here, increase the size, and now I will add it to a component using Ctrl+K. Let's change it, art icon, cart icon. Also these components, if we are marking things as a component, this will be very helpful when we will be exporting them for our developers. So this is a good practice to do. So I will keep it here. I will check for the height and width of this heart. It is 54 by, let's make it 50, and I will use the height and width for the cart as same, 54 by 50. Let's align them, 40 from the heart icon. Now we need to give some number here which will show the amount. So I can directly use text here, try to make it in center, dollar, let's say any number, 100, escape, use the selection tool using V. First of all, let's increase the height, let's make it 32. Okay, that works. Let's make it bold. Okay, that works. Okay, here we can see this is in the center of all the three icons. So I will put it here, and it is on the end of the column, so which is I need. So yes, done. So first part of our page is done. Now we need to do navigation bar. For the navigation bar, I will use again a rectangle, put it on the corner, giving it a height of, let's say, 60. Here I will use a different color to fill this to differentiate it as a navigation bar. So I will use no borders. and I will use the color of maybe this color. I will use the plus icon to edit in our palette. Okay, our color bar is ready. Here we will use normal text to give us the different navigation menus. So let me quickly make all the navigations. On the first we will make all categories. Let's change the size and thickness of the text. 24, yes, 24 works, and make it regular. We can change the fill also to complete white. Add it to our palette. Here I want to use a component which will show the drop down. I will use this drop down component. Again I will double click and increase the height and width. Align it with the category. Fill it with white, making it a group with the category. Control G. Alright. Now what all navigations do we have is, we will have home, wishlist, cart, blog, contact or account. Here I think wishlist and cart are redundant. We don't want to use them here. So I will use men and women here. So I will use a simple text. Now I will use alt and I will make a copy of this. Men, women. Here I will have blog, contact us and my account. This is home. I will change it to men. Change this to women. Change this to blogs. Change this to contact us. Change this to my account. Now I want all of this to be aligned this side, so I will make this go that side. This is still in the center, so good. I will drag this here. I want the distance to be 30 between them, so I am using my buttons or the arrows, and if I drag it here it will show me the default distance between them. Then it will be easy for us, and sometimes if it is not showing we can always use the arrows. Okay, our navigation is ready. Now what I will do here is I will select all of them and this one, make it a group. I will select this group and this rectangle to align them in middle, and again I will use this one and select this to make it a group, so that our navigation is a complete package. Control Z. Now I will select this and I will make this a component. Here you can see component is added, so I will make it navigation bar. Now why I made a component out of this is, on every page of the wireframe that I will design, I will not have to make all these things again and again. I will just drag this and I will put it on the page, and I am done with the navigation bar. Or if we want, we can totally select all these things and make a component. We can say header, and we can use this thing directly, so we don't have to create any of this on every page. As we are done with the navigation bar here and we saw how we can use components, now let's move on. But designing each page takes a lot of time, so I have already designed the page, so let me quickly walk you through the process. So this is how the design page will look like. Let me tell you how I did it. So I made a rectangle. I imported an image icon which was in SVG format, so it was easy to manipulate here. It is always better to import SVG icons because we can easily change the colors and everything. I put a text here, and for the button I am using a rectangle, and if we are creating a rectangle we will find 4 dots here, and these dots can be used to give the circular shape to the edges of the rectangle. Here we can see inside that I put a text. I have used down arrows and rotated them as 90 degrees or 180 degrees as per the orientation that I want them, and we can rotate it from here. After this, as per the design we have created, we have recommended for you items from your wish list for him section, offer section, for her section and blog section. So according to this design I have prepared the page. For the recommended for you section, I used a simple text of 32 size, then I used a smaller text of 24 size, given it a hyperlink and different color to make it look like a button. Now let me show you how to make this card, or how we can make this product card. For that we can take a rectangle. Let's keep a size of 320 by 400 for our test case. Actually this is 265 348. On top of this rectangle we will make a one more rectangle, and this rectangle we will fill with some gray color which I have already used. So let's take this as an example. we will make it without borders. On this we will use the image icon that I have used here. So I will copy, paste, drag it here on the top of this. So this looks like it is an image. I will use alignment tools to put it in the center, increase the size. I will put a text here which will say product name. This is in white color, so I will fill it with black. I will change it to 32 maybe, make it regular, putting it at the center at 10 pixels from the top. Then I will copy this, but I will put category here. I will change the size to 24 maybe, put it in the center of this rectangle, and I can also put it on 10 pixels from the top. I will again make a copy of this at 10 pixels, give it a price here. So let's say this product is for $10, make it 32 again and bold, putting it in the center. Now how do we make these icons which are used for saving to wishlist and saving to cart? Again I will take a rectangle here on top of this, width of 60 and height of 64. Let's keep it like that, or let's make it 40. No, 60 looks better. I will copy this to the other side. We already have components with us for the cart icon and heart icon. So I will put the cart icon here. I will change the height and width as 30 by 30. I will put it in the center. Same I'll do with the heart icon. Make it 30 by 30. Drag it to the center. And with this we are done with the product card. And we can select all this and we can use Ctrl+K to make it a component, and we can see we are getting this new component here. If we want, we can use this anywhere. We can rename this to product item. Now we are using a lot of item cards in a row. So for that Adobe XD provides a good tool in the form of repeat grid. So if we use repeat grid, as the name suggests, we can make any number of grid using one card, as we can see here, but we only want in horizontal form, we don't want in vertical. So I will use this to get only one card, and I will drag this to get 4 cards. Now we can see we can manipulate the distance between them. So if we want them to be inside the container, we can just increase or decrease the space so that they stay inside the container. So this is about the making component of product card grid layout. After this I am using the same copy of this to make items from your wish list. After this we needed a for him section. For that I have drawn a big rectangle, put the image icon in the middle, and I've provided a name as a topic for men, and I've used different color and underline to make it look like it is a button. I've given some categories here, or see all, to see all the products in all the categories. I have provided some products here so that if we want, we can directly select any of the product. This can be top selling or recently viewed, anything. After that we will again have the offer card or the offer carousel or offer picture, whatever we want to add. So I have just copied the upper one and changed the name on offer. Then we have the for her section. So let's make it for her section. Here also we will change to women's. I basically copied from the top and just changed a few things. After that we will have the from the blog section, where I've used the same setup of from the blog and see all button, and I have created another blog card which will contain blog title, author and published on, and I've used the same logic of making a component and using the repeat grid option from the Adobe XD. Inside the rectangle I've used some text with different identification and different alignment so that they are easy to differentiate. So with this the home page is completed. Since designing the page takes a lot of time, so we will not be able to complete the design on video, but this is a introduction video for the wireframe where you can see how things are done in Adobe and how we can align them to one together and we can create on our own. But let me show you my wireframe design that I have designed for the website. So this is my wireframe design of the website. It will have product journey, user account and seller account, how these things will look like on the website. So let's quickly go through them. Just like we designed, homepage looks similar. Recommended for you, wish list, for him section, for her section, offer, blog and the footer. After that I have the category page, and I have kept the header and footer same for all the pages. Here I have given some filter. I have used the concept of repeat grid. I've given sort option, all the topic breadcrumbs on the page. Then we have product page where we'll have the image. I'm giving the images on the bottom, social share on the left side, product name, description, rating, features, color, sizes, discount or price, add to cart, wishlist, adding review, what others think, recently viewed, also like, and top selling. This is wishlist, this is cart, this is the review page. On this page user will review if the details are correct or not, or if he can go back to cart to change it. Then we will have a order confirmation page. I have not included the payment page because it will be somewhat related to the payment gateway that we are using. Next up we will have the blog section. This will contain all the list of the blog, and if we see, this is very similar to what we have designed on the page. Then we will have the detail of the blog where we will have previous, next article, we have topic, author, published, and sharing options. On the right we will have the blogs, latest blogs that are added to the site. Now let's see how the user will be able to sign in and use the account. So this is the sign up page where we will get the information like name, email, gender, mobile, and the address. Then we will have sign in option for just the email address and the password, where we will have the account details, edit option, and the last 5 order summary. And if we want, we can add a CL button also, and we are providing an option of contacting the customer care or the email. Then we have contact page, about us, mission, contact info. We are providing all the info. Then we have the option to email us. Then we have a store locator. We have the policies as hyperlink. Then we have legal info page where we will have all the policies listed. Then we will have the seller account or seller dashboard. So this will be the seller dashboard or the homepage for seller, where we will say the sale, returns, and net sale, where we'll see categories and products also. All the navigation menus are here. Orders and inventory alert is here. This page is for inventory, and if we click on see all, we will get to this page where we will have all the products with pagination and the option to search here. Then we will have the order management page where we will have recent and refund orders. We can search the order, and we can use this button to go to the website and log out from seller account. Then we will have a page where all the orders will be available with the shortcut to the action, and if we want, we can have a single page for order. Now, as I have mentioned in the video, how to get files that I am using. The project will be uploaded in parts. So first of all, I will be uploading UI, then we will be doing backend, and after that we will be doing hosting. This is supposed to be a complete course where we will start designing from the scratch and we will host it. So there might be some amount you have to pay to get the files, as the videos will be publicly freely available on the YouTube. But the complete information will be available in the description. So please go and have a look. So basically we will be setting up color palettes, fonts for our website. We will try to get some stock images from the internet. So first of all, let's see some cool websites that can help us getting the right colors for our website. First in our list we have colors.adobe.com. Here we have different type of color settings. We can use triad, complementary, split complementary, and different things. If we want, we can make a custom one. We can use the mouse also. From here we will get the hex codes that we can use in our Adobe XD. We can also use the explore function of this website. If we click on explore, it will give us different color palettes that people have used. So this is also a good option for us. Next up we have gradient, which is mainly used for gradients. If we want to include gradients into our website, which is a cool thing nowadays, so we can use this website. It has different combinations, and on this website we will see the colors which are used from here. If we want to adjust the angle or something, we can use this thing. It will adjust the color or the angle from which it is seen. We can add any colors here. If we want, we can change this to any color, and we will have a different gradient. Now these two sites are very good for colors, although there are many different websites available on the internet for considering color. After finalizing the color, let's go to our font section. So what fonts we will be using. So first of all, we have fonts.adobe.com. Obviously this is from Adobe, so we can search for any fonts here. It also gives us some different functions or different places where the fonts can be used. So if I want UX font pack, so it will show us different types of fonts, and also we can scroll down and we can check what fonts are used, and we can view family and we can download. Or if you are hardcore Adobe fan, then you can also put it in your library and you can use it. This is not new for anyone. I hope everyone knows about it. But again, we can search for fonts here. We can use the size, what size we want. And for example, if we need this one, we will go into it. We will download this, we will install this, and we will have the fonts ready. So these two places or these two websites are where we can get the fonts from. But what fonts to choose? Then we will go to fontpair.co. This is a cool website which provides inspiration for font pairing, what we should use for heading or what should we use for the body. If we see on the home page, it will give us some featured combination like Shivo and Overpass, ASAP and ASAP. Then we have Work, Sans and Bitter, Carla 700 and Carla 400. So there are different combinations, and also it gives us a search function where we can use whatever font we want and see for the options. After this, let's have a look at some websites that can provide us free images that we can use on our website. So first one is pexels.com. It provides us the images as well as the videos, so we can use those images in our commercial projects. So we can search for photos, and we also have videos here. Next up we have freeimages.com. As the name suggests, it will also provide us photos from all over the world taken from different photographers, subjects, etc, etc. We can also search here and we will get our photos. I believe this website is only for images. So this is a site from where we can get images if we want to use. Next up we have unsplash.com. Unsplash is also a fantastic website that provides free images and high resolution images that we can use in our commercial projects. So these three websites are basically used for images and videos that we want to use. There is another cool site I want to mention here, which is randomlist.com. So we can create any type of random list from here. Let's say I want random addresses, random word generator, random female names, animals, countries, email addresses, etc. Let's say I want random team generator. So I will click here and it will give us 4 teams with people in it. And if we are not happy with the result, we can rerun it and it will change the names. So this is a cool feature from random list. Now let's go to Adobe XD and create the high fidelity design. So this is the wireframe we have created in the last video. Ideally, we should be starting the high fidelity design in a new file. But for the sake of the video and not having to set the layout and the height and width and the components in the artboard, I'm not using a new file. I will be making a high fidelity design here only. So let's just ignore it for now. So the first thing that we will do is we will create a mood board. So mood board is nothing but a collection of all the images or inspiration that we have, so that we can look at it whenever we need some inspiration. So for that, what I will do is I will import all the images. So here I have downloaded images from Pinterest or Dribble or Behance, so that I can have my own mood board. I will select them all and I will import them. They are all here. Let me set them somewhere here. And this is quite long, so I will put them one above other. I will put them down here somewhere. Okay, once I have set them, I will select all of them, make a group, and I will shorten them so that I can have an easy look whenever I want. Now our mood board is ready. We can see we have different type of colors, different type of styles that I would like to use in my website. So this is cool. Also I have got an image that has color in it with the color code. So this is also a cool thing. Now it's time to go for our font selection and color selection. So I will copy this complete artboard, bring it here. I will delete everything in it, shorten it, I will not require the layout here, so I will turn it off for now using Control Shift and inverted commas. I will rename it as setup. On this page, first of all, I will give a background color of gray, which I have used already, so that my colors are easily visible on the top. Then I will make a rectangle. Let's say I want it 100 by 100. I will keep it white for once because I will be needing white color somewhere. I will use Alt to make a new box. Now for this one, I will use the fill, and we have a cool feature here which is pick color from screen. So I will use this, and I will use this color. So we have got a different color, and also I will add it to the palette. I will make a copy of it. Now I want to use this color, so I will go to fill, use the dropper tool, and I will take this yellow color. Then I would like to use this gray color. Then I can use this blackish gray. So I will go to fill, use dropper, and use this one. Also I will add to the color palette black, gray, yellow. Okay, these are the basic colors that we will be using in our website. So as we go along, we will be adding more colors to our website. Now let me select all these colors, and I want to add them to our document assets. So I will go here. If I click on this plus icon, it will automatically add all the colors that are selected. Let me give a heading of colors. Now I want to select some fonts for our website. Let me show you what fonts I have chosen. So these are all the fonts. So there will be a title which will be 48 points and bold. So I'm using railway font family. Then there will be 40 which will be bold. Then there will be 32 bold. Then there will be 24 bold, 24 regular. I'm using 16 for the body. Then I'm using 8 wherever I will need captions and everything. So as we can see, these are all bold and regular, but we can also include italic bold or underline italic bold. So I will select those, make a copy, and I will fill them with white. Also I will make a copy of this, and then I will fill it with this color, because there will be times when I will use this font family. Now I want to add this to our asset list. If we say here we don't have anything in character styles, so first I will add the black ones using the plus symbol. I have all the black ones, then white ones, then I will use the orange one. So it will be easy for us to segregate where we want to use which one. This will be very beneficial when we will be changing stuff. Okay, let's take an example. I want this heading to be in orange. So I will click here and I will see the appropriate label, and I will click here. It will be changed to the character style that we have chosen. So this is a cool feature that we can use. Now our colors are selected and fonts are selected. There is one point to note in fonts, especially when we are using the body font. There is something called as line spacing and paragraph spacing. For line spacing also, we will use the spacing of multiples of 8 so that we are evenly distributing our font on our web page. So this is 16, so I'm using the line spacing of 24, and for the paragraph spacing, let me use 32. If you observed, as soon as I changed the paragraph spacing, this body changed. So let me correct it. We can do same for these also. For the caption also we can do the same thing, where I will give the paragraph spacing of 24. Now we are done with our mood board. We have set up our colors and we have our fonts ready. So in this video we will see how we can design high fidelity of a website. So let's get directly into it. But before that, let me show you what we are trying to achieve. So this is the page that I have designed already. We will try to replicate this. So let's get started. I will be using the same artboard that I have used as a wireframe we have created in a couple of videos back. So let me just grab it, hit Alt, copy this. But again, I will always recommend that we make a wireframe in different file and high fidelity in different. I will rename it to homepage HF, meaning high fidelity. Here I will delete all of this for once because I will be making the graphics for the background. For that, I will be taking a rectangle, a big one. I will be filling it with the color, and this time we are not going to fill it with a solid color, so we can also use linear gradient from here. First color I want is this one, and second color I want is yellow, and we can adjust our gradient as per our requirement. So I am happy with this. As I have told you, we can add colors to our palette and document asset, so I will use the add button. Once we have created the gradient, and we may want to use it for another thing also, so I will click on it, go to document assets. I will use the plus icon to add the color. So if I say add, it will show the gradient of the color. Okay, now I will take a circle, press shift so that it is a circle, not a ellipse, taking it in the center, increasing the size. Now we can resize it to a bigger circle so that it will cover the complete page. Keep it in center. Once we think we have the desired shape, we can select the circle. Using shift, we will select the rectangle, and I will use this tool which says subtract. So it will subtract this circle from the rectangle. If I do this, I'm only left with this small abstract looking shape on the top. I will press Alt, take it down, rotate it 180 degrees, and here I have the top and bottom of my website. I will put it down, and also I can select both of them, make a component out of it using Ctrl K. We have our component here, so let's name it background. If we want, we can also change the shape of this like this. Our background is ready, so we will include the header. Now we will be seeing one advantage of using components. So we have drawn this in our wireframe section, but I can use it here also if I keep it here. Now here it is. With some changes we will be able to make it good looking. So starting from the top, I want this rectangle to be blackish in color, so I will use this one. Now I will make all this text with filling white. We have some divider here. I will also fill them with white. For this rectangle, I will not keep the borders, and for the fill, I will also remove the fill so that we are having the background on the top, or we can see the background. I will give a color to the logo, which will be, let's say, this one. I want these to be in white. This rectangle is okay. I want to give this different color. Let's say I want to give it this one. These two things looks okay now. For this navigation bar, I will again give a color of blackish, this one. The text is already in white, so it is okay. Now one thing I want to add here is I want to add a rectangle here that will indicate which is the page that we are on. So I will make a rectangle on this, and this rectangle I will send it to backward. So I can always use this arrange, and if you see, to send it forward we can use the control plus open bracket, open square bracket. So I'm going to use the open square bracket method. Now rectangle and text both are of the white color, so I will make this home different color, let's say orange, and I will make the rectangle yellowish in color. Okay, this looks good. I will remove the border from this. Now I forgot to include one thing here, so let me just quickly make a change here. I will copy this, make it checkout. I will bring back the rectangle on home. By the way, this checkout button is for directly checking out whatever we have in the cart. So user will not have to go through cart and then go for checkout. If we click on checkout, it will directly check out the items that are available in the cart. Now I want to make a shape here so that our cart and price and wish list are coming on the top as evident. So I will take a rectangle. Let me show you a cool feature with rectangle and pen tool. This is a rectangle. If I double click on it, we will get these 4 points and we can use this to reshape our rectangle. Now if we hover on the line, we can see we have the pen tool, using which we can add any point here, and this point will take it upwards. If we double click on the points, it will make it circular in shape. So we are going to do that. Or if we want to delete a point, we can just use delete, add another point, drag it downwards, and we can use these extensions to give the circular area larger radius, like this. I think this looks okay. I will remove the border, fill it with yellow. Now I want this shape to be behind the text and above the header. So I will select the header, ungroup it using Ctrl Shift G. Now I will send it backward using Ctrl open bracket. Now this color bar is also on the top. So I will ungroup this also. Use this rectangle, send it backward to a point where it is just below the shape. Now we are good to go. We have what we want. If we want, we can again make a group out of all of this so that we can use it for further. So let me just do it. For that I will first lock this so that it doesn't move when I select something, and then if I select these things, make it a group or component, we can see component is added, so we can say HF header. Also we can make a component out of this shape. Let's say component, we can call it header splash, so that it will be easy to export to developers, and also if we want to use it somewhere else, it will be easy. Now let me quickly copy paste the wireframe here so that I can have a easy reference. I will copy this, take it here. Okay, so now we need to make a hero section. So as we have already made a group out of this, so I will hold Alt and bring it here. Now let's bring back our layout using Ctrl Shift and inverted commas. This is in the container. I will bring it up a little bit. I will increase the height of this to 540 so that our images will be easily available and shown. This looks okay. We will deal with the shop button. Let's delete the deal of the day for now, this image. Now I want to show a cool thing while dealing with images. So if we want to put an image here, let's go to our folder where we have kept all our images. So this is the folder where I have kept all my images. So I will minimize it and I will just drag and drop what image I want. So for the hero section, I want this image, so I will drag it here, and if you see, we are all getting an option of copy. So if I just place it here, we have our image inside the rectangle. Let's change the color of this to yellow maybe. Okay, this to yellow. For the shop now button, what we can do is, first of all, let's bring it here, make them a group. Now we will change the rectangle. If we double click on it, we will get the pen tools. So I will click here, bend it. I will try to give it a simple circular shape. Okay, I think this will work for me. I will make it a component with the name button splash. Change the color to yellow so that it matches with the constant theme. If we want, we can change the color of this text. So let me go to my character styles and let's keep it 16. Let's make it underline. But again, I'm doing it for the sake of explanation, but I suggest you give a thought of what colors you are using and what do you want to achieve. Now I also want a shape here that will say offer or discount. So I will use a rectangle, double click on it, double click, double click, double click, double click. I will make a point here, here, here and here. I will bring them in. And once I'm happy this, I can make a component out of it. Let's say offer splash, removing borders, filling it with again yellow color. saying special offer, or let's say 20% off. Center, I will select this rectangle, but if you have made a group, don't forget to double tap on the rectangle so that you are inside the group and selecting the rectangle. We just want to select the rectangle, not everything. Removing the border, I will give it a shadow. For the shadow, I will give, let's say, x5, y5, let's say keep it 10. But if we want to see it, we can select this and use this play icon. It will open us a new window, make it full screen. We can see how it will look on the main web page. This looks good to me. Close it. So sorry guys, during editing I came to know that rest of the video is corrupted. So let me quickly give you a walkthrough of the process that I did. First of all, I copied everything from the wireframe into this. Then I changed the fonts by clicking here, going to our assets and selecting appropriate style. In the item card also, I have changed the text, inserted one image, same as we have inserted into this offer section. I have removed the borderline and I have given some shadow. We took a rectangle on top of it, and like we created the splash icon, we have created this using pen tool. We made a random shape, decrease the transparency using this fill. On this side we will have the transparency option. Then I have sent the shape backwards so that it is in the background. Basically I have done the same thing with this items from your wish list. I just copied this section and changed the shape of this background image. In the next section, that is for him, I use the same technique. I copied this from the wireframe. For this image I have already removed the background using internet. Then I made a shape, random shape, sent it to the background. Then I used the offer splash and used it just behind the text so that it is visible. And basically I'm using the same cards on everywhere. Then I copied the special offer image from the wireframe. Then I copied the for him section to make some changes so that it is for her section. In the last section we have from the blog, copied the section from wireframe, inserted some images, changed the character styles, and we are good to go. At the last, I copy pasted the footer using our assets. Here we can see we have the footer. I copy pasted, made it transparent so that I am only able to see text that is in white color. Then I copied the icon that is on the top, rotated it and sent it backward. So this is the process. Again, I am so sorry that the video was corrupted, but in a moment I will show you how my complete website will look like, so you will have a good idea about the website. So we can see this is how our website will look like, and we can check here and we can make some changes if we want. And again, for time constraint, we are not able to design all the pages, but this is the basic process how we can do this. Now let me quickly show you what I have designed. So this is my design. First of all, I took the mood board. I used some colors and fonts at the beginning, and I have added orange ones after I have started designing, but we can always add them at the first. Then this is my pages. So let me show you what all I have. So if I preview this, so we can see we have a similar kind of page that we have designed. Then if we use the right arrow, it will get us to the next page. So this is my category page where we will have sort option, filters on the left, we have products, and if you observe I have used some sale buttons to inform that this is on sale. Then we have product page where we will have all these options from the wireframe. I have added some colors. Then we have wish list, our order review page, our sign up page, sign in page, our my account page. Then we have all orders page from the account. Then we have order summary for an individual product or individual order. Then we have contact us page. Then we have legal info page about the policies and terms of use. Then we have seller dashboard. So this is how our seller dashboard will look like. I'm not making it very attractive because this is just a dashboard and we just want information here, but if we want we can add all sort of options and colors here. This is our inventory. I have added all category field here. Then we have minimum inventory, all inventory. If we click on it, we will get to this page where we will have all the items with us. And I have used this button here to identify only 2 items are left or 3 items are left. Then we have order page or order management page. where we can see recent orders and returns or refunds, all the orders info, single order info, where if the order is already delivered we can accept or deny the refund or whatever the process we want. Since we are not including the delivery process here or the tracking option here, because different sellers will have different types of delivery, so not including that in this. So this is what my website looks like after making a high fidelity design. In this video we will be designing a mobile version of this website that will be a mock-up of how the website will be looking on the mobile. So for that, first of all we will create a new artboard, and we are using the custom artboard thing here because we want to make it for a mobile. I will create the height and width of 360 into 640. Why I am taking this size is because 360 into 640 is the smallest mobile screen that I have seen and that is basically present. So if we are able to make our website look good in this, then it will be quite easy if we expand our screen size. So let's make it mobile homepage. Again we will use the layout for this to identify where we want to make our content. So selecting this, I will go to layout. First of all I will make one column and I will give it a column width of 330. Why I am giving 330 is I want some padding on the left and right side. On the top it will not be necessary. Why? Because it will be a address bar on the top since this is a website, but we can give a small padding in the bottom also. So for that, instead of this we will use this option where we will be using different margins for each side. So here we can see top, right, bottom and left. So top we will keep it 0. For the bottom also let's make it 15. So now our layout is ready. Now let me make it into 12 columns with 0 gutter width. Now we are ready to make our design for the home page. So first of all let's take the background from the assets, keep it here. Obviously we will need to decrease the size, so I will copy one component, paste it here. I will delete the previous header. I will bring it here. Now I can use shift and resize it so that it is resizing properly. Then I can change the height according to the need. I will copy paste this, rotate this 180 degrees and I will put it at the bottom. Since we will be making our page, so it will be long, so let me extend the side of this. Let's bring it to the bottom. And this time I will not be making a group of this and this because they are very far away and things might come here and there. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to make the header section of this page. So just like our main page, we want a black rectangle, then we want the search and logo, then we want menu. Let's see how we can do this. So for that I will take a rectangle. I will give a height of 30 with no borders and making it a fill of blackish color that we already have in our palette. Here we have to keep email and other things that we want to show when we are in the mobile version. So let me copy from the page. On our page I just want to see the support email and the account option. So I will copy both of them. I will take them to the page, mobile page. I will put both of them on this rectangle. I will change the size of the text from 24 to 16. For account also let me make it 16. I will keep the size of down arrow same. I will align them in one line, make them a group. I will align with the rectangle. I will take this to the extreme right, take this to the extreme left. Now our header is ready. Here let me show you what we are trying to achieve. I have already prepared a design, so let me walk you through it. So this is the design that we are trying to implement. On the top we have our bar, then we will have a menu icon and the logo, then we have the search bar with cart and wishlist icon, then we have all the elements that we have on our website, the offer page, recommended for you, wishlist, for him section, for her section, deal of the day, blog and the footer. So let's go back and try to implement the same. So from the components let me take the header, keep it here, and from here I can take whatever we are required. I will take the logo, copy paste and bring it here. Since this is very big I will resize it to 32. Now I will need a menu icon here. So a couple of videos back we downloaded a wireframe kit, so I will take the menu icon from there. So here is the UI kit and here I can see we have the menu icon. I will copy from here and I will paste it here. I will make it local, change the color to, let's say, white. Let me lock the background, so let me keep it here. I will keep this here. Let me increase the size of this, double click, and boom, I think this will work. I will keep them in alignment, making a group of them. Now I can keep it here. Now this looks good. We will need to include the search bar here along with the icons. So let's grab it from the header. So I will need all of this. I will make it a group. I will copy it, and here I will click outside and then I will paste it so that it is not copied into the same component. Let's bring it here. Here we can resize it using two things. Either we can hold shift and we can resize it, or if you want, you can use the responsive resize. Responsive resize is a thing where we are decreasing the size of rectangle, but all the components in that will not be resized, they will be stacked like that. So it's always better to use shift and resize it. Here I will do some refining, like height I want as 30. At this point we will need to include the heart icon and the cart icon. So we can either take it from the assets or we can take it from the header. So let me take it from the asset section. I will make it size 30 by 30, or we can make it 20 by 20. Yep, this feels good. I will make it 10 pixels from the search bar. With the cart I will make it 25 by 25. I will make it 10 pixels from the heart icon. I will change the color to white, and we are good here. After this we will need the hero section where we will have the offer slideshow. So let us copy from the Fidelity page. Or better, I will copy the complete page so that it will be easy for us. I will use Alt to take this here. Now I will use Shift to resize it. We can align it wherever we want. So let me give it 20 pixels. Resize it to make it proper. We already have the shadow, but again let's make it 3 by 3 into 6. Here these arrows are not in proper shape. I will make them proper height and weight. So I will resize them to 25 by 25, or if you want we can resize them manually, aligning them to the center. If we want we can give a circular shape to the card. If so, I can give this much and it looks good. Since this is a mobile view, so we can use this option here to get a view. If you are an iOS user, you will have to directly plug in via USB and it will be directly available for preview. But if you are an Android user, you will have to download Adobe XD for Android, and from there you have to save your document in cloud and then you can open it in the Adobe XD Android version. Once this section is done, then we will need recommended for you. So let us copy it from here, and then we can ungroup this, and we will not be needing all of the cards. We have to change the height and width of one and we can use that. So let me delete all the others, bringing it here. Now we need to change the text size. So let's make it 24 and we can make this 16. Align them properly. We can decrease the size if we want. So let's make it 16 and let's keep this 16 also. Give it a distance of 15 pixels. Now on this I will ungroup the card from the text. I will ungroup the component. Now I can select everything here and I can make a group. If I try to resize it, it is resizing properly. So I want two cards here. So let me see what width I can give. Let me make it 154. Now this looks good to me. Let me correct the font here. It is 19, so I will make it 16. For the category, let me make it 8. For the price, let me make it 16 again. I'll align them in the center and we are good to go. I will make a copy of it here. and then I will select both, make a copy downside, let's make it 10 pixels. We will repeat the same steps for every section, so let me show you how it will be looking. So as we can see, I just directly copy pasted the same section, change the name here. Then basically I'm doing the same thing for the for him section and for her section. So basically for mobile version I'm trying to make it as simple as possible without any extra colorful things. Then we have for her section, that will be same. Then we have deal of the day section, where we can resize it according to our view frame and we can change the size of the text. Then we have from the blog section, where we have basically done the same thing, resize the card, gave the title and author some change in size, and at the end we have footer. So I have stacked the footer on top of each other so that they are easily available to the user, and this makes our mobile website view complete. Let me quickly show you what all I did in the mobile page. So this is what my home page looks like. As we can see, this is the same as we have designed right now. You might be wondering, where is our menu, where is all our navigation buttons? For that I have created another screen. Whenever we will click on this, it will open up a new pop-up from where all the navigation menus will be visible. Now you can ask how we will mock the procedure where we will be clicking on it and this will show. That we will do in the next video, where we will see how to prototype, how to share it with friends and clients, and how to do the user testing. And lastly, we will see how to export components from Adobe XD for our developers. But let me quickly show you what I did in the mobile view. Then I have the category page here with the breadcrumb, title, and the search and filter bars here. We have all the products. Again, I have used the same thing like homepage. On this filter, whenever the user will click, he will get the pop-up where they can apply the filter. Then we have category page or the product page, where we have the product, images, details about the product, reviews, recently viewed, and etc. Then we have wish list. Then we have cart. On the top we have the progress of the purchase. Then we have products. Then we have billing details. We can check out. This is the order review page. This is the order confirmation page. This is the blog list page where all the blogs will be listed. Then we have blog detailed page. On the top we have the blog. Then we have latest blogs. Then I have mobile account for the user. So for sign up we will ask them the same details, email address, password, etc. Then we have sign in page. Then we have the account for user, account summary, orders, etc. Then we have all orders page. Then we have single order page. Then we have contact us, where we will see about us, mission, contact info, email info, and the store locator. Then we have legal info page, where we will have all our policies. And for the seller side, this is how the dashboard will look like. We have all the cards here, weekly revenue, orders, and inventory alert. Again, I have used the same thing. If seller clicks on this, he will get this pop-up, and if seller clicks on this admin thing, he will get this pop-up with the view site and logout buttons. Then I have inventory page for seller with all categories, minimum inventory and all inventory. Then I have the all inventory page. Then we have orders page, where we will have recent orders and returns and refunds for the seller. Then all orders page and single order page. So these are all pages that I have prepared for the mobile view. In this video we will see how to prototype it or how to link the buttons with one another. We have already created the UI part, which is user interface. Now we are doing user experience, that is UX part. So we will be connecting one page to another. Then we will see how we can share it with the friends, and then we will see how we can export it. So let me go to the complete web page that we have designed, and I will make a copy of it. Here we are just trying to see how to prototype it. So in the top left corner we have this prototype thing. So I will click here. If I click something, let's say I'm clicking this button, or if I get inside this, here we can see this arrow. We can do two things. Using this arrow we can directly place it on the other page, so they will be linked. So this is one way to connect. If we see here, if we get on this arrow and if we go on the right side, we can see destination. So if I choose a destination, our next page is homepage HF1. So I will use this, and we can see this is also connected to this page. Now if we click any of the link, we can see here how we want to trigger it, if we want to drag it, if we are using any gamepad sequence, or if we want to use it using voice. So we can also give voice request on our page. On the next section, we can see what type of action we want. We want it to transition, auto animate, overlay, scroll to. So there are different types of action we can do. So we are just keeping it for transition. Then we have the destination. Then we have animation. What type of animation do we want? So we have different animations where we can say slide left, slide right. These transitions are very useful when we are designing a app or mobile app, but during the website the dissolve looks better. Then we have the easing out and easing in, or if we want to do some other effect. Then we have duration. This is very basic how we can use prototyping. So let's say I click on it and I will preview it. Now we have given link for this text here. If we can see, our pointer is changing, and for other text it is not changing. So if I click on it, it will go to the next page where we have deleted everything. Also when we are on this page, let's say I want to click here and I want to go to home page, so we can do that also. So let's select this one, let's select this, and for the destination let's say homepage HF. Now we don't see the arrows here, so if I do Control A, I will see all the links. So Control A is also a way where we can see all the links. Now let's say we have two things here. So in prototype we have this small home icon. So if we press, this will be our flow 1 until we make another flow. This will let Adobe XD know that this is the home page, and from here it should start the preview. And for our mobile home page, if I click here again, it will make flow 2. This is how we make two things at one file. So if we are collaborating with 2-3 teams and we want everything on the same place, this is a good way. If we preview, this time let's try this button. So if I press this, we are going to the next page, and again if I click on here, we should be going to the home page, which we are. So this is very basic about prototyping or UX for the user. Now let's see how we can share. So if we go on the share option, automatically when we go to share, flow 1 is selected. If we want, we can also change the name of the flow to whatever we want. Then in the sharing option, we have a few settings. Either we want it for developer, we want to share it with the developer team, we want it to be a presentation, we want to do it for a user testing, or we can make custom. So basically, if we are sharing with the friends, we will go for design review. If we are sharing with the backend team, if we are producing the website in-house, we will go for the development sharing. And if we are going for user testing, we will be sharing it with this link. After this, we can have different type of access for our website or the Adobe XD link. So we can go for anyone with the link. We can invite few people, or we can make it password protected so that only person who has password will be able to see it. So let's say I want it for design review. I will create a link. Now I have a link created. What if after sharing the link we change something in our design? No issues, we can directly go to the share page and say update link. It will automatically update all the design changes that we have made. Now if we click on this link, a new browser will open with the link that will show us our website. So here it will show us our web pages, and since it is flow 1 and we have made our home page as the home, then we are getting flow 1 and the supposed to be home page. Then we can use these arrows to go front and back in the pages. Since we have two only in this particular flow, so we are getting two pages. Also we have a comment section here where either we or anyone who is reviewing the design can make any comment. The person can say please change the yellow color. They can submit it. We will get the comment here. Also there is another option. We see this pin here, so we can put it anywhere. Like we want to specify that this logo is not looking good, so I will place a pin here with the keyword 1 and I will say this logo is small. For example, we can mention any user here. Let's say I'm mentioning myself or anyone else is mentioning my name. So we will get the comment here with the pin that will highlight on the page. If we hover it here, it will show us the pin on the page. This is about the sharing with friends and clients to get some feedback. Now going back to XD. Now this is for flow 1. If we select flow 2, we see that we don't have any link here. So let's try. We'll want it for flow 2 and we want it for development team. We want it to be exported for web only, and let's say create link. Here we have the link ready. So let's see how it will look. This link will also look very similar to the web link that we shared a while ago, but there are two things added. First one is here, which says view specifications. So if we click on it, we will get all the colors that are here, all the character styles that we have added to our specification or the asset column, and we have the layout options. So it will give a developer idea about how the layout is present on the website, what is the opacity, and what are the characters available, what are the colors we used, what is the design size, and what is the viewport size, etc. Then we also have a tab for variables. In my recommendation, I would not rely on this because in my experience as a developer, I don't think this will prove very beneficial to me. Yes, they can be helpful, but they are not very helpful. We can download this CSS file from here that will be downloaded in .css. So this is about link sharing for development. And at the last, we want it to share for user testing. Here I will take a moment to talk about user testing. There can be two types of user testing, moderated and unmoderated. Moderated means we will be sitting with the user so that if they are feeling something, some questions, they can ask and we can guide them to do the thing. And there is unmoderated where we will just give the user website and we ask them some questions. We can have different questions like number 1, you have to log in to your page. You have to sign in and you have to log in. You have to sign up and you have to log into your account. Next we can ask find a way to purchase an order from the website. Then we can say please find a way to return the order. So we can have different questions as per our requirement. So for user testing, what I did is I've asked some of my friends who are in the IT sector, since our persona is working professional and aged between 24 or maybe 25. So I asked some of my friends to do it for me. But there are some cool sites from where we can get the specific age group and working people that can do the user testing for us. So let me show you the sites. First up we have meetup.com. As usual we have to sign up for it. Meetup.com is kind of a event where people will get together and they will maybe discuss their ideas, or so this is where we can find our event where some things are happening that are specific to our website. We can attend those events and we can ask some users there to test for our website, and maybe we can pay up some amount for them. So this is the site. I guess this is taking the location. So I'm in India, so it is showing the location for India. Anyways, there is another site which is usertesting.com. Usertesting.com is very specific to UI and UX designers because this is what they do. As we can see here, we can get real-time feedback from real customers wherever you work. So no matter what website we have designed, we can always sign up to this and we can always ask, I want so and so customers with so and so age group, so and so profession, and we will be always getting some users that are able to help us in our testing. Usually the right number of user testing can be up to 4 or 5 people, or if you want you can go for 6 or 7, but that should be enough. So these two are very good places or very good websites where we can go for our user testing purpose. In our Adobe XD we can select the flow, and for view setting we can go for user testing and we can create the link, and if we see how this looks will be, it will look the same as before. So basically we can provide this link to the users that we can get from user testing or meetup, and if we want we can either ask them to record the screen on how they are processing with the website, or if we want we can also ask them to record their voice as they perform actions. So whatever we want, that is all about user testing. And I'm sure there are more ways using which we can get feedback for our website. So we should always explore more things. And at the end we will see about export. So if we go back to design, let me show you how to export one thing at a time first. So if I want to export this, I will select this, I will go to the menu and I will export it, and I will go for selected one. This will give us an option where we want to export it or how we want to export it. So I want it as SVG, I want it as a link, and I will export it. So in my folder we have this header splash.svg. If we observe, we have the name from the component tree. So if we open it, as this is an SVG, it is opening in the Internet Explorer, and we can see we have the shape here. This is one way of exporting components. We can select 2-3 items. Let's say I want to select this shape. I will right click on it. I will say mark for export. Okay, let me export this arrow. So I will right click and I will say mark for export, and then I will go to menu, export, and I will say batch. It will give us the option. I want them in SVG, and let's export them. Now let's see what is available in our folder. In our folder we can see we have button splash component 156, which is the arrow that looks something like this. So this is what we can select 3-4 elements together and we can export them. And here we can use the shortcut of Shift E to mark for export, or Control plus E to export them. So this is also one thing. And at the end, if we want to export the complete web page, we can select this. We can do Control plus E, and I want it in PDF. So I will export it. This is usually good when we are trying to show the design to someone who don't have laptop available, or we can directly show them in PDF. So in our folder we have this PDF with the name that we have given to the artboard. Let's see how it looks. So we can see here the PDF is totally comprised of the components or the full page that we have designed, although we cannot click anything on this as this is a PDF. So this is a good way to showcase our design, or we can also use this to showcase our portfolio to someone. One last thing, when we are talking about, if we select multiple artboards and we export them using Control E, we can get the option of we want all of them in a single PDF, or we want multiple PDF files. So this is also a cool thing. So this was all about export. In this video we have seen how we can make a prototype or user experience of our web pages that we have created either in web page or mobile page view. Next we saw how we can share it with our friends, with the client for the user testing, and with the developer team. Then we saw how we can export different components that can be very helpful for the developer team. With this, I conclude the video and the section where we have created a brief of e-commerce website. We created a persona. We created a hand-drawn wireframe of the website. Then we created a wireframe on Adobe XD. We created a high fidelity design. We created mobile version of the design. Then we saw how to share and export. This is the complete process in which UI and UX is done. Now the next step is developing the website, the front end and the back end, which will be uploaded very soon. So stay connected and don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss out those videos. If you like the video, don't forget to hit the like button. It will tell YouTube that my videos are good and YouTube will recommend it to other viewers also. Let me know anything in the comment section. Don't forget to follow us on the social media handles that are available in the description. And if you want to be a decision making factor in the videos that we make, please support us on Patreon. We will be starting taking poll as soon as we have a good population on the Patreon. We will meet very soon with a new video. Until then, this is Somveer taking your leave. Adios.